Hi friends, thanks for watching my channel Tech Stuff. My name is Rikant. Let's learn something new today. Today's topic is SwiftLint. A linter is a developer tool that maintains the code quality by analyzing the code for errors, stylistic issues, and vulnerabilities. So one of the most popular linter tool for the Swift programming language is SwiftLint. This tool scans all the Swift files in the directory and generate the reports according to their observations. In the SwiftLint, there are around 200 plus rules all by default configured, and if you would like to add any new rules, yes, it is available and you can add new rules also. So SwiftLint is most helpful when you are working with a large projects who are containing larger developer team. Why? Because different developers will write the piece of code in different styles. So syntactically, these are all right. Otherwise, you will end up with compiler errors. So syntactically, these are all rights. To maintain the code quality and consistency, the SwiftLint will help us to define the certain rules to the entire team so that as an end product, we will get the same styling guideline code piece of code for complete project. For example, so few of the members see we here we have a 5 functions. So all the functions syntactically correct. There is no compilation errors. You won't get any compilation errors if you run these 5 functions. If you observe, the different function will have a different styles of declaring and implementation. So SwiftLint will help here to maintain the consistency between the code and follow the styling guidelines which we define as a team. To install SwiftLint, there are several ways to install where you can check it in the SwiftLint GitHub page. For installation, you can use either Swift Package Manager or Xcode Package Dependency or Homebrew, CocoaPod or Mint and so on. So here I would like to recommend Homebrew because it is one-time installation where throughout the projects in all your projects which are running in your Mac can be use this installation SwiftLint tool, as well as if you have any code snippets or playgrounds which is running for your testing purpose, on top of that also you can run the SwiftLint tool. Let's try to install the SwiftLint tool. In the terminal, to install with a Homebrew, just hope you have a Homebrew installed in your Mac. Otherwise, here is the link where you can find how to install Homebrew. Just copy this one and paste it in your console so that Homebrew will install successfully. I already installed Homebrew. That's why I'm not reinstalling the Homebrew in my Mac. For the for the SwiftLint installation, simply type brew install SwiftLint. I already installed SwiftLint in my Mac. That's why I'm not reinstalling it right now. But on the successful installation, you will get the success message. Just to check whether the SwiftLint is successfully installed or not, just run SwiftLint hyphen version. So I am running 0.56.2 so that SwiftLint is successfully installed. Let's try implementing some functions as we defined earlier. So these are all SwiftLint files. This is one of the Swift file where I have 5 functions. Syntactically, those are correct. Let's see. If I compile, I hope it will compile successfully. Yes, build success. So syntactically, there is no errors. If you observe each and every function, there are some spaces in between the variable name and data types. And if you see, there are some spaces between the function and parentheses. There are, see, this function is starting with capital letters. So compiler won't identify, compiler won't throw any errors, even though the function starts with the capital letter. So everything is works fine. Just run the SwiftLint file, SwiftLint on top of this file. If you go to the directory and if you run the SwiftLint, it will scan the SwiftLint files and it will throw some errors. Right now I have only one error, which is function 4. Let me run it again. I have some sample functions. So let's define. Let's run the SwiftLint now. See, here is the all observations by the SwiftLint. Most of them are trailing white space. There are spaces, unnecessary spaces in the piece of code. And if you see, identifier name is one of the violation. It is saying like function name should start with small f. It's throwing as an error, right? So to check what are the rules we apply by default, to check the list of rules, simply type SwiftLint hyphen rules. If you see, there are 200 plus rules which are configured by default, and few of them are enabled, few of them are not enabled. Yes, we can enable and we can modify these rules. I will tell you how to configure, how to modify these rules and everything, but see, few of them are enabled, right? So it is compiling those rules and trying to identify what are the vulnerabilities or what are the stylistic issues which are there in the SwiftLint project. Once we find that one, next, see, we can find these ones, right? Even it is available on the console only. If you want to get rid of, while at the moment of compilation itself, if you want to get Xcode to identify what are the errors, what are the warnings by the SwiftLint, all to do that one, just we need to we need to run some script on the compilation phase. To do that one, just go to build settings, build phases, add some new script. Let's name it as SwiftLint. The name, it should not be a SwiftLint, anything it can be, you can add, but just now for the sake I'm adding like SwiftLint as a name. Here I have a detailed discussion, detailed blog over here. You can, if you want, I will add this link in the comment section. You can go through, you can read line by line, you can do the steps as you require. See, this is the piece of code which we need to add in the run script. Once we run, if you compile the piece of code, it will try to find what are the violations we have. It will try to scan the all piece of code. I think it is taking some time. Bear with us. See, so here I got an error. Let me check what is an error here. Yeah, SwiftLint file read data. It is not able to access this this it is not able to read the file. So we, as Xcode 15, there are a number of changes, recent modifications are happened. So because of that, so see, enable user script sandbox. It is earlier it was by default no. I think in Xcode 15 onwards, by default setting is updated to yes. So for that we need to change the default settings Here, user script sandbox. Here you need to modify yes to no. The people who are running in Xcode 15, we face this issue. If it is earlier version, which is older version, you may not face this issue. If you compile this time, I hope it will able to identify, yes, it is able to identify all the warnings and errors. If you see, it's a white space violation. If you see here, I have a white space in this line. So if you remove the space and compile it again, remove and compile it again, that warning go away. Here I have one error, identifier name version. Function name should start with the lowercase. If I mark it as small f, the error will go away, if I believe. Yes. So this is how we can, by compiling itself, at the time of compilation itself, we can get to know what are the warnings, what are the errors. We can find it in the Xcode itself. And one more tip here, if you are running on the Apple Silicon Macs like M1 or M2, you might face this error or warning message on the console, because the homebrew installation will vary from Intel processor to Apple Silicon one. So for that, the people who are using Apple Silicon MacBooks or Macs, you need to copy this script and paste it in the build phase running scripts. I will show you where to place here. So this is applicable only people who are running on Apple Silicon Macs. So here we have a list of warnings, right? Let me run in the SwiftLint again. Here I have a list of warnings. By running a command SwiftLint -fix, it will try to fix some of the warnings or error which cannot change the code and which can be possible very quickly. So if you run the SwiftLint again, there is no warnings. If you go to Xcode and compile, let's see, yes, there is no warnings as of now related to the SwiftLint. This is how the SwiftLint we can install and we can integrate with this project. Now let's go to the rules. So as we discussed, there are 200 plus rules which are already defined and integrated with the SwiftLint. If you want to configure any certain rules, if you want to enable any rules, here is the configurations what we need to do. So for that, we need to create a file called swiftlint.yaml, YAML file in the root directory. Let me create SwiftLint YAML file here. Touch SwiftLint YAML. So now I have in the root directory, I have SwiftLint YAML file. If I open with Xcode, it contains empty, nothing. So if you want, see, these are the different options where you can disable rules or opt-in rules or rule only. See, if you want to, I told you last time, right? If you by running SwiftLint rules, you will get to know list of all the rules which are available. Okay, so if for the configuration purpose, I just given some example, disable rules like control statement and comma, and opt-in rules, force wrapping, virtual white spacing. See, here we can define the rule. See, force wrapping. I opted the force wrapping rule. If you observe, the force wrapping rule by default is disabled. This is disabled. No, right? Enable your configuration. This is disabled. So if we copy this and paste it here, you can customize whatever you want, and you can enable or disable the rules whatever you want. Here I'm force wrapping, I'm enabling this rule and I'm changing the status. Instead of by default it's a warning, I would like to show it is an error. So to do that, just I'm copying this one and paste it in the SwiftLint YAML file. Okay, let me write some piece of code for validation. Let's assume like a var string of type string optional. Okay, so string equal to welcome to my channel. Let's print. Here I am force wrapping. Syntactically it is not an issue. When I compile, so it will try to find it as an issue. Why? Because see, force unwrapping should be avoided. Why? Because I enabled this one and marked it as a error. If I didn't mention it is a error, it will start showing like a warning message. If I compile it again, see, force unwrapping, it's shown as a warning. I strongly recommend the force wrapping should not be implemented in the code. That's why I marked it as error. So the moment when I compile, it will show as a error. Here we do have some redundancy optional. Okay, some warnings also. This is see, if you find any error, this is the SwiftLint rule name. Okay, so this is how we can customize our rules in the SwiftLint. If you want to disable the rules on a particular line or particular area, you can do using SwiftLint also. Here is the disabling SwiftLint on a particular rule or particular line. If you want to disable the same force unwrapping thing in the code, just add this line comment SwiftLint :disable. So if you run now, it will disable the. Okay, here we need to pass a rule. Our rule is force unwrapping, right? So now this rule is disabled. Here you can specify by default is next, nothing but it will apply to the next line of code. By providing next, it will apply the same rule, disabling the rule for next line of code. If you want to add this one to the previous, it will disable to the previous line of code. Or if you add this one on the same line, you need to mark it as this. So that it will, at the compilation time, the SwiftLint won't work, or SwiftLint will disable the piece of code which is commented like this. Okay, this is how SwiftLint will work, and I think this video is help you for for working with SwiftLint. And if you have any feedback, please provide in the comment. It is really helpful for me to improve myself as well as improve the community. As it is my initial videos, I don't have any subscribers right now. If you really think this video is helpful and it is added your value, please like and subscribe us. Thanks for watching our channel. Have a good day.